I personally support a decrease in the voting age, but it is not a matter simply for me or even the government. Any change in electoral law of this nature requires 75% of parliamentarian support. That's why it's our view that this is an issue best placed to Parliament for everyone to have their say.
Will it be a conscience vote for Labour MPs?
Yeah, look, whether or not an issue is a conscience vote is ultimately determined by the Speaker, and so I can't say at this stage the nature of the vote or indeed how Labour members will choose to vote. What I can say is that on this kind of matter, I think we should remove the politics, we should put it to Parliament, and we should let every MP have their say.
Some would say, though, that younger voters disproportionately vote for the left. So is that giving yourself an unfair advantage?
Let's be really clear. Whatever Parliament decides, this will not take effect for the next election. A would, of course, need the Electoral Commission to provide advice on how it could be implemented, but B, that just wouldn't be right. Electoral reform traditionally skips over an election to make sure that regardless of who it may impact or affect, you give it due time to bed in, and there's no accusation of it being unfair.
Should it really be up to politicians to decide, or should you take it to a referendum?
Ultimately, you could equally argue that in referendum, those who the law affects also don't get to have a say. At least in Parliament, we have the provisions in place, and electoral law requires a majority, a supermajority. So regardless, you'd see it coming back before Parliament.
But you know that it's not going to pass. National Impact have said that they're not going to support it. So
I'm not going to make any assumption. I do think that we should put it to the Parliament as a whole, because actually any government of the day isn't in the position to make this call. And there are some issues I'd like to think we can take the politics out and just have a good, robust debate as a Parliament.